A fantastic evening to each and every one of you. Let's fight! Guys, welcome in the ring wherever you are joining us from. It's our privilege to have each and every one of you with us here this evening, guys. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. Good to see you. Wherever you joining us from around the world, peace and power, guys. Peace and power in 2022. Good to see each and every one of you here with us. Welcome in the ring. And who do we have ringside tonight? Joan Stephanie, Estelle Griffith. Good to see you. Suzanne McDonald, Beatrice Selby. Good to see each and every one of you. I see a name here on YouTube that says Cop My Cop, Copmy, Cop. First name, my second name. Good to see you as well, guys. Welcome in the ring, wherever you guys are joining us from tonight. Welcome. Yep, good to see you guys. The budget 2022. It is an abomination, says GHK Lall. And we're going to be discussing that a little later on in our program with our guests, the one and only Juretha Fernandes, the Shadow Finance Minister, and we're going to have with us as well Jaipaul Sharma, former minister within the Ministry of Finance. He's going to be here with us as well as we wade through some of the issues of this weighty beast of a budget. Good to have each and every one of you with us. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited to head into the fight card, and I hope that you guys are as well. I trust and I hope you guys are as well. Winston Kilkenny, Irwin Don Cook, Gwenna Jones, good to see you. Pinky Kerr, Donna McDonald again. Jamal, good to see you, Jamal. Nicola Bess and Hazel Austin. Lily Gulliver, good to see you. Margaret Craig, Siborn Semple, Kim Walker. That's right, Patricia Amsterdam, good to see you as well. Pamela Douglas, Minty Gonzalez, Minty Graves Andy rather. Laverne Harricher and Kelman Prasad. Quanamingo, good to see each and every one of you. How are you guys doing? Hello. I love to have you guys here. Desiree Smart, Felix, Desiree Smart, Marcia Lovell, Junior Ramatar, Kim Clark, Williams, Killabeans, Dylan, Deborah Sharona Lynch, June Cameron is here as well, Claire Capel, Nadia Seaforth, Nicole Leo. Good to see each and every one of you, including Horace Thomas. Guys, what kind of day did you have today? What kind of day did you have? Trust you guys have had a fantastic day at work. We know some of you are still there giving us a little peep. Good to see you. Good to have you ringside tonight. Good night to each and every one of you. A good night to each and every one of you guys. Good to see you. Wherever you're joining us from around the world, folks. Good to see you. Good to see you. Respect and manners. To a corporal, a police corporal, respect and manners. We're coming to that. Samuel Henry and Erica Hooper. Auntie Sandra Hanover, good to see you as well. Judith Ochoa, good to see you. Nadia Lewis, good to see you. John Raymond, Sion Quintin, Warnella Garnett, Lincoln King, Pace and Power, Rhonda Ferguson, good to see you as well. Guys, we trust that you've had a good day at work. And we're going to ask you guys, as per normal, share the live stream. And we're making sure that we are shared in all the right places, guys. That we're cross-posted to all the right places. We want to make sure that we share the live stream as well. And I'm heading to Facebook. I want to share it to a couple places quick. And then I'm back with you guys, ready to jump into the fight card. Hope you guys are great wherever you are, ever you are. Hope you guys are great this evening. Let me make sure that I'm tuned in. I am fired up like you guys, and I am ready to go as well. Turning my volume down there just a little bit. Guys, I am ready to get to it. I don't know if you guys are. Ensure that we are shared on all the places that matters, folks. I'm about to post a comment. Yep. Multitasking at this end. Good to see each and every one of you. Thanks for joining Ringsiders. Share. There goes the comments, folks. Good to see each and every one of you. Checking out some of the names via my phone. Irma Holder, good to see you. Patricia Leacock, good to see you. Yep, Laverne Cameron, Mark Garnett says I'm ringside. TJ Joseph is here as well. Good to see each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Great to see you guys, as a matter of fact. Great to see each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from, ensuring that we're picking you guys up loud and clear, sharing in a couple of places as well. Good to see you guys. Floret Jacobs says pace and power. Deborah Clark, Emily Soto, Juan Berry, Emily Soto, Sean Williams, and all you other beautiful, fantastic people. Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Ensure that we are shared. Ensure that you guys are seeing the comments. Ensure that you guys are greeting each other too. So many of you are in the ring already. Good to see you guys. Yep, hundreds of comments. Looking at these comments, looking at these names, we're really feeling special, folks. Abby Johnson. Yep, Tracy Backus. Good to see you. Naomi Sinclair. Aquino Lawrence. We see a lot of more names via the phone. Hazel King. Good to see you as well. Diane Fordyce. Royston Melville. Tracy Mullen. Good to see all you beautiful, fantastic people. Diane says pace and power. Diane Graves Andy. Pinky Vaughn. Good to see you as well, guys. Ensure that as we come into the Coliseum, into the arena, into the stadium, we share the live stream. Who ringside tonight? Good to see all of you. Beautiful, fantastic, lovely folks, guys. Good to see you. Welcome, one and all, wherever you're joining us from. We trust that you guys have had a good day. Trust that you guys have had a great day and that you each share the live stream. We are making another comment there, encouraging you guys to share as you come. Hope that you guys are going to have a fantastic evening. Yep, Melanie Semple de Silva, good to see you as well. Is it Bado Love? Good to see you. Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Colette Thompson, Colette Thompson, Carol Braffett, we see you. Winston Kilkenny, we see you as well. Hazel Austin. Rita Singh, Sharon Castillo Edwards is here. Richard Fordyce here too. Who else is here? Yep. I see Sudan Suglio says good night to all except the budget. Gavin Liverpool is here too. Good night to all except the budget. Sean Daniels is here too. Lots of other folks. Good to see you guys. Paula Benjamin. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm fired up and I am ready to get to the fight card before a guest comes in. Guys, I'm so excited to have each and every one of you here as you come, as you join the program. Share the live stream for us. We always say, we understand people get very engrossed in the program, but we have to stay active. Our hands got to stay active in the comments. We got to share the program as well. And smash that emoji as well. Carol Hudson, Wilton Blue, Ariel Abrams, guys, it's our privilege and pleasure having each and every one of you night after night. I am fired up, guys, and I am ready to go. Let's get going. Good to see you. All the Austins, good to see each and every one of you. And here is where we begin from this evening, folks. The fight card. Ready to get into the fight card. Are you guys ready? We're starting from around the region, starting from the top. Look what's happening in Jamaica. Yep, this is a pastor who was caught in a very, very compromising position recently. The pastor taking a back ball. What? Folks, folks, you know them guys and everybody, let's say Lord, Lord, go make it. The good book says, not all that say Lord, Lord shall make it. And so an assistant pastor has been suspended, and his fellow congregants are praying for him. They should. After a social media post surfaced showing a scantily clad woman pressed up against his pelvic area in a risque dance. Pastor getting his groove on there in Jamaica. When contacted by the Jamaica Observer, who we have the privilege of pulling this story from, I think his name is Dionite Foster. He admitted to being the one caught in the compromising position. Yep, with this woman pressed up against his pelvic area in a risque dance. Yep, the pastor confessed. Dionite Foster. He's affiliated with the Sacred Heart Church, the Sacred Heart Spiritual Church of Jesus Christ International, there in Jamaica. Again, he's associated with the Sacred Heart Spiritual Church of Jesus Christ International. So the pastor, the pastor living it up. Oh my. So the pastor was caught here with this woman, according to the Jamaica Observer, pressed up against his pelvic area. Pastor, folks, now this is pastor wife, huh? You saw y'all jumped to a lot of conclusions quick. But the fact that he has admitted it was him, and the fact that he was suspended tells us pastor had a slip here, right? Pastor had a slip. And for those of you who are on the spiritual path, you would know, salvation and sanctification is a process. Pastor's still going through. He who is without sin, cast the first stone. He who is without sin. So we say to Pastor Dionyte Kwani Foster, go and sin no more. Such were some of us, folks. Pastor living it up there, guys. That being said, closer to home. Signs of the times, guys. Signs of the times. A lot of things happening in this country, A lot of things happening in this country. We all spectators tonight. Who's sharing the live stream? Who gonna smash these emojis? I told y'all we got to stay active, engaged, but active. Good to see you, Commissioner Cole. Good to see you, Marsha Batiste. Good to see you, Erica Hooper, Nicole Bess, Chisung Henry, Volme Wilson. Good to see you, Jolette, Gloria Van Cooting Felix. Good to see all you fantastic folks. Hope you take the opportunity again to share the live stream. Signs of the times, folks. A 19-year-old dies after being allegedly stabbed by his stepdad. Folks, this story is sad. This story is sad for so many reasons, Michelle McKay. It's a sad story when you hear the circumstances under which this young man met his demise by the hands of his stepdad. This is unnatural. People, I don't care where you are living. I don't care what is your living arrangement, what is your socialization, what is your religious belief, what is your political persuasion. This here is unnatural. It is unnatural for father, stepfather, or otherwise to kill his son. It is unnatural. And the story is told, my God, this one hurt me. I can't lie, this one hurt me, but this 19-year-old, guys, it hurts. The circumstances under which he met his demise. According to the report we have here, 19-year-old Isaiah Edwards, a construction worker of East La Penitent squatting area, Georgetown. He was stabbed to his right hip about 18:30 hours just yesterday by his stepfather, and he succumbed at the infectious disease hospital at Lillinal because apparently he had COVID as well. But listen to the circumstances. The police said that the victim intervened when his stepfather began to abuse his mother, who had not finished cooking. Oh, God. She going to try to abuse the woman, to assault her. And when his son step in, you can stab him. This is the report we have. The mother had not finished cooking, and he began to abuse her. The 19-year-old son stepped in, and this is how he's going to die, The suspect reportedly became angry, picked up a knife, and attacked both of them. The teen and his mother were both wounded, after which the suspect fled the scene. Both victims, we are being made to understand, were subsequently taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation by relatives, where tests were conducted, and it was revealed that Isaiah had contracted COVID. As such, he was transferred to the Lilliendale facility, where he subsequently died. Yep. His mother, we're being told, is currently in a stable condition, but at a hospital. Folks, you understand what's happening in this country? Signs of the times, folks. Signs of the times. We understand what's happening in this place. Signs of the times. Signs of the times. Donald Booker and Anne Bevney, Rita Singh, Lolita Alexander, Marsha Batiste, Rennie Mackenzie Talbot, Nicole Best, Onika Glenn. Signs in the times. You think that is it? It gets progressively worse. It gets progressively worse. Signs in the times. Loretta Simon met her demise today at the hands of her ex-lover. Because he can't move on. He cannot move on. Signs of the times. Guys, it's crucial, you know. Sometimes I wonder, Lord, are we going to all make it out? Are we going to all make it out? And so this Cooper Street All Boys Town woman has transitioned life at the hands rather of her ex-lover. Again, according to the reports we have here, the police and Regional Division 4A are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of this 28-year-old woman, Juretha Simon of Cooper Street, All Boys Town. At around 1 p.m. today, at her mother's residence in Sophia, she met her demise. Yep, she met her demise. Listen to the circumstances. Investigations have so far revealed that the woman allegedly met her demise at the hands of her ex-partner, who went to her mother's place of abode and demanded a reason from Simon as to why she no longer wanted to be with him. She don't want you, she don't want you. She don't need no reasons. God damn it. A police release said an eyewitness related that the woman asked the suspect to leave her mother's premises. Yes, move from here, man. Shucks. And he suddenly whipped out a knife from his pants. Premeditation. Whipped out a knife from his pants waist and stabbed the victim to the region of her heart. The victim later ran a short distance and collapsed. The man then dropped the knife in the yard and escaped. Folks, signs of the times. Signs of the times. Our thoughts and prayers go out to both families of the 19-year-old and this young lady who today met their demise, or rather recently met their demise in such gruesome fashion. Folks, we got to be concerned for human life. Human life in this country has become too cheap. It has become much, much too cheap. And I'm certain Flora Jacobs Ward would agree with me. Diane Fordyce would agree with me. Caleb Wilson would agree with me. Nadia Seaford would agree with me. Owen Newton too. Leslie Niles would agree with me. Oren Barker would agree with me. Life in this country has become too cheap because a woman didn't cook little food. She ain't finished cooking the food. You can kill your son. The woman don't want you. You're going to stab her to her heart. Oh, God, boy. Life has become still much too cheap. And we hope that they are found and face the full brunt of the law swiftly. Swiftly. Again, thoughts and prayers go to the families and all who love them. Friends and families, the communities they're from. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you guys. Signs of the times indeed, folks. Signs of the time. You all think it's easy in this country? It's going from bad to worse in this country of ours, folks. But signs of the times. We there, drinking we water, minding we own business. Drinking we water, minding we own business. And look what's happening on the East Bank. Signs of the times. Strange things are happening in this country. Look what's happening just on the East Bank here, you know, folks. Not far. Right on the East Bank. Signs of the times. Signs of the times. The man ain't having it. The man don't have no time to wait on police. Signs of the times in this country of ours. Every man seems to be a law unto himself. Signs of the times. Let's take a look at that again. Signs of the times indeed. understand in this country of ours, there are times when the police overdo it. We understand that. But folks, we got to respect the police. We have to respect the police. We got to respect the police in this country. What's happening in this country here? We got to respect the police. And the police, in similar fashion, have to conduct themselves with professionalism. Too many people fed up with the police, because of their own behavior, their own attitude. But we got to respect the police. And the police got to be professional. Signs of the times in the country. Look what else happened just today. Accident on Sheriff Street, folks.
To do, Alonzo told James that he has decided to change his behavior.
We got to be careful on the road. We have to be careful and mindful of others on the road. Take another look at that. Signs of the times.
To do, Alonzo told James that he has decided to change his behavior.
Yep. Signs of the times. Folks, be cautious on the road. Be cognizant of the pedestrian. Be cognizant of the cyclist. Be cognizant of the motorcyclist. Be cognizant of your fellow motorists. We got to be careful out there, folks. We there, it's session. Session. Now, a social media commentator is being accused of interfering, rather, in a case. It's not me. It's not me. A social media commentator is being accused of meddling and interfering in a matter, a very serious matter. And so, this young man, his family wants justice. He was hit in his head by another young man, a teenager, and he's currently in a critical condition. We told, a critical condition. And one social media commentator, we being made to understand, he getting involved in the story. He getting involved in the story, and apparently he taking sides about who right and wrong. And the family not having it. The family asking for justice. The family asking for justice for the young man. That's what they're asking for justice for this young man, and perhaps rightfully so. Perhaps rightfully so. Let me try to get this information for you guys on what's happening here. Let us get the information for you guys. Look, folks, we got to look out for each other, We got to fight for our kids. We got to fight for family as well. So according to the report that we have here, the family members of 13-year-old Jesus Gonzalez, also called Chichi. Jesus Gonzalez lives at a place called Sierra Johanna on the east bank of Essequibo. Right? As a matter of fact, he's not critical. Correction. He succumbed to his injuries a few days ago. Jesus Gonzalez is his name. He succumbed. Correction. To his injuries a few days ago after he was struck on the head by another 13-year-old. By another 13-year-old. And the family is calling for justice. The child was injured on December 20th, we're being told. However, he later succumbed to his injuries at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Just this month, the family disclosed that when they went to the Tumeri police station to make the report, they were told by the police that since the accused family assisted them with close to $40,000, he assisted them with close to $40,000, the accused family, right, with some to do some head scans, right? It was a private matter. Jesus have mercy. Snatch the wheel. Muhammad. Jesus. Whoever upstairs. Snatch the wheel. Snatch it. Allah. Whoever upstairs. Snatch the wheel. They only snatch the wheel. Snatch the whole vehicle. The family was told because the perpetrator's family helped with some head scans of $40,000 is a private matter. So this is what you child life for. This is what your child life for. The family also disclosed that they had contacted a popular social media commentator who later visited them. Right? He like what? He later visited them. According to the relatives of Gonzalez, they thought that the social media commentator would have assisted them by highlighting the cries for justice. But instead, the commentator allegedly accepted a bribe from the accused father and just completely ignored them after that. Y'all hearing that? The people said the social media commentator allegedly accepted a bribe. Allegedly accepted a bribe from the accused father and just completely ignored them right after that. Right? Completely ignore them. Y'all hearing thing here, people? Y'all hearing story here? So when you see people flying to Barbados and people flying to the States, you know the meeting, you know. When you see people going Suriname, you see people going let them. You don't know how they're flying. They go on Barbados and by the beach and so on, pose up. You don't know. Folks, we want justice. Police, to Mary Police, we want justice. Ropes and bend your name, calling. We want justice for Jesus Gonzalez, Jesus Gonzalez. We want justice for him. And nobody can pay no $40,000 and think that's what the life of a 13-year-old is worth. Folks, I've just said it. Life in this country of ours have gotten all too cheap. All too cheap. That's what Budget 2022 tells us. When the old age pension in an oil-producing economy only increased by $3,100 a day for people who have worked and give service to this country. You know we be there. You know where we been. When the old age pension, folks, in an oil-producing economy with billions of wealth, and we give we senior citizens $100 a day, and we tell them, go to the back of the line. We know we were there. But the budget, big name, as it's a big burden, steadfast against all challenges. That's we telling you, people with $100 a day, resolute, building our one Guyana. Tell that to Jesus Gonzalez, Jesus Gonzalez's mother, their family. Tell that, resolute against, steadfast against all the challenges of some of the social media commentators, resolute building one Guyana. Tell that to them. Tell that to them, because lots of us ain't buying it. Ain't buying it. Cost of living sky high. Everything gone up. Them boys say they put aside $5 billion to go into communities and find out why cost of living so high, and then bring programs. But gas to sure, that then do no studies for yet. That then do no environmental impact assessments for yet. No gas to sure get 20 plus billion. Because that is money for the boys. Money for the boys. Steadfast against all the challenges to alleviate the high cost of living. That is what they are steadfast. Steadfast for one Guyana that only sees a couple people progressing and benefiting from the billions. That's what they are steadfast for. The biggest budget was passed recently, folks. $500 plus billion. $500 plus billion. And the mayor of Cariveton, Father help we. The mayor of Cariveton met with residents of an area called Eliza and Mary and Little Africa and told them that they got to do self-help to fix the street. And the biggest budget passed yesterday by Ali Jagdio Cabal in the National Assembly. You understand what we're talking about? They say they give 70 plus billion to infrastructure. And the mayor of Cariveton, you all hear the accent there? The mayor of Cariveton had a meeting with residents and said they got to come together, self-help, to fix the street. biggest budget ever. How they going for we? In an oil-producing economy, how they going for we? We think it was GHK Lall, who summarized this budget correctly. GHK Lall, writing for Demwara Waves, respect and manners to them waves. Hear what GHK Lall told us. He said the budget is an abomination. This is not Apnu AFC. GKH Lall is not even a political fellow. He comments on political matters as a citizen, but not even a political fellow. He said it is an abomination. One more hope shattered. I speak mostly on behalf of the expectant poor. A lot of people get poor. The struggling, the back to the wall working class of Guyana, the suffering masses out there. This national budget, just unveiled, cannot be described as anything other than a political letdown, a major letdown. A major letdown. He goes on, for sure, there are some morsels in it for them, but those are so paltry, in Guyanese parlance, mega or maga, as to mean nothing. The provisions for those at the bottom and close to it are insulting. And this, and this, and this, in a country where the talk is of one of the highest, if not the highest, GDPs in the world. But at a meeting to Riverton to fix the streets, at a meeting some other places to alleviate the suffering, at a meeting, it is abomination. That is what GKH Lall tells us. The budget is an abomination. Now, y'all would say ordinarily, Apnu AFC, the coalition supporters, they're going to be critical at any rate of the budget. They're going to be critical. But you got to factor out some people. They're going to be critical. But GHK Lall, that's why we picked up on his comment as an independent. It is an abomination, GHK Lall says, about budget 2022. Things tight. Things tight, folks. The people in Riverton tell us that when they're being asked for self-help to fix the street, things tight in this country. It's tight. But even though things tight, some people still lending a helping hand. Even though things tight. And that is how we say respect and manners. This is the part where you need to share the live stream. Whether you're joining us from Adele Semple, Volme Wilsons, Rhonda Ferguson, Huldah Thomas, Tonya Cummins, Marcia Eargard. Share the live stream. Things tight. But we say even though things tight, we could have character, we could have integrity, we could believe in truth and honesty, and we could deal with people fairly and with equity, even though things tight. Things tight. And this evening we want to say respect and manners to a special someone. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. Right? This is why we want to say thanks to Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. Folks, we tell you all here all the time, in the darkness that has become this country, sometimes you see a sliver of hope and of light. And we like to celebrate it. And that's why we're saying respect and manners. Right? Respect and manners to Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. The report is told that Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif, who is stationed at the Grove Police Station, Regional Division 4B, he was involved in a moment of kindness. Folks, we got to be kind to one another, irrespective of how tight the politics get, how tight the economy get. We got to stay kind to one another, be kind to each other. The event occurred in early January while Hanif was performing traffic duties at Grove Public Road on the east bank of Demerara in Guyana. That's where it happened. Lance Corporal Hanif recalls that while he was conducting duties, he saw a young boy. Oh, Father. He saw a young boy walking along the side of the road in tears. He saw a young boy walking on the side of the road in tears. And he decided to approach the lad to investigate the reason for his crying. The young boy said to the officer that he was very hungry. And he decided to walk from Little Diamond, where he lives, until he finds something to eat. Jesus. Allah, Muhammad, whoever upstairs snatched the whole vehicle in this country with the biggest budget ever. And a young child has to walk from where he's living at Little Diamond to Diamond Grove until he finds something to eat. Whoever upstairs snatched the wheel, snatched the whole vehicle. He walked from Little Diamond, where he lives, until he finds something to eat. He told the policeman that he's only 6 years old. He did not intend to walk all the way to Grove, but he really would appreciate a bite of something to eat. Lance Corporal Hanif immediately took the young boy to a nearby snack it. And hence we have this photograph here. You understand why GHK Lall has said to us, the budget is an abomination. Christopher Jones says it is disrespectful. In an oil-producing economy, as GHK Lall says, we want the highest GDP in the world, perhaps. And here's a 6-year-old boy walking till he gets something to eat. The poor are going to get poorer, and the rich are going to become opulent if we don't change course. 6 years old, and he has to negotiate the traffic. Some sick people out there, and he's looking for a meal to eat. And we pass in the biggest budget ever. But what in it for the people of this country? Respect and manners. Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. Folks, if you didn't share, if you have a reason to share the live stream, if you didn't have a reason, I hope I've given you one there. Respect and manners, we say. Respect and manners. To Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. Some of y'all gonna put on y'all status on Facebook, I told y'all, we don't only want thousands of people watching us. We gotta become active. I would put that in my status on Facebook. Respect and manners. Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. Let me bring it up big so you can see the spelling of his name. Folks, amid the politics, amid religion, amid everything else that beset us on a daily basis in this country of ours, our humanity must shine forth. Sandra Lewis, Heaven Faith, our humanity must shine forth. Right? I believe in God. And I believe in Jesus. And I asking them to snatch the wheel of this country and bring it back on course. When a 6-year-old so hungry, he gonna walk for miles. We're in a bad place. I don't care what you budget. I seen where we are in this 6-year-old. And so respect and manners, Lance Corporal Ashraf Hanif. And my apologies if I'm not getting the pronunciation of his name right. I would say Ashraf Hanif. Respect and manners. Well, what I can tell you all now, more COVID-19 cases, more deaths. This will be there. This will be more COVID-19 cases and more deaths. Folks, wherever you're joining us from, take a minute to share the live stream. I'd like the world to see. We got some good policemen too, like Ashraf Hanif. Not everybody bad, you know. We got one and two good policemen in the police force. So we there by COVID. We stand up by COVID. More deaths. More confirmed cases. 2 more deaths today. 400 plus confirmed cases. And then the Minister of Health is telling us they've now seemed to be switching policies, changing direction. That unless you've been administered all 3 doses, persons are considered not fully vaccinated. Folks, I didn't have time with Frank Anthony. For my own life, the safety of my family, friends, and loved ones. And you guys, of course. And y'all in family. Y'all are in your family right now. Y'all are family. All the ringside. I went and took both of my vaccines. And I took my booster shot. And if I had advice to give you, I would say get vaccinated. I understand it's your body, your choice. I understand all of that. I understand there's lots of conspiracy theories. I took my vaccine. I took my booster dose. And I still stand up here warring with the jagabas and the trench crappos. So if I had advice for y'all, I would say get vaccinated. So this is what Frank telling me today. Unless you haven't been administered all 3 doses, you're not considered fully vaccinated. That seems to be the new policy. And we're going to be having more of this on that as we go down. So this is maybe there are 408 confirmed cases. 2 deaths, 1,100 plus deaths to date, 1,156. Our thoughts and prayers, our hearts go to all those families. Active cases, 12,000. Confirmed cases locally, well over 45,000. That's where we are on COVID-19. Folks, I'm privileged to have with me, this evening, the Shadow Finance Minister, Juretha Fernandes, is joining me, and as well, Jaipaul Sharma will be joining us shortly. He was the former minister within the Ministry of Finance, minister within the Ministry of Infrastructure as well. And he'll be joining us shortly. Juretha, welcome, and a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Sharon. Good evening to all your viewers.
I was telling our viewers just momentarily that when a 6-year-old got to walking from Little Diamond to Diamond Grove because he's hungry and looking for food, I don't want to read 97 or 100 pages of a budget of fluff. The reality is staring us full in the face. Talk to us about budget 2022, and if you got anything for anybody besides the boys.
Well, Sharon, we spoke about it. We began the conversation actually last night, just after Ashley Singh finished his presentation in the National Assembly, and after that, I would have had the opportunity to go through the budget in a little more detail and to point out some key things that persons need to understand, because I said to persons that Ashley Singh stood in the National Assembly and basically he delivered a budget of failure. And I know a lot of the PP supporters will they never like to listen to those things. They don't like to hear those comments generally, but that is the truth. And I want to actually go through some of what was said, and I'll quote directly from what Ashley Singh said yesterday. And we're talking about sectoral performances right now. When it comes to the agriculture, forestry, and fishing, when it comes to that sector contracted by 9.1% in 2021. Right, the same agriculture, same forestry, same fishing that they claim to be so interested in, that they claim to have all the right tools to manage. They claim to be the best at doing that. That sector contracted by 9.1% in
Wow.
2021. Moving forward, what we can also note that the when it comes to sugar, and I spoke about this a little earlier on your program on Below the Belt, the sector altogether, the sugar, as Ashley Singh put it there, he said the sugar growing subsector managed to contain the reduction in its value added to 34.7% in 2021. People, as she's saying, just basically said that sugar reduced in production by 34.7% in
So sugar was a failure
2021. It's
too.
the same, Ashley. The same, no, but I want to make this point because they went in there and they use the sugar industry in that sector as a political football, and they said a coalition that did not know that what they were doing and all of that, but yet we have the report presented by Ashley saying the PPP in the National Assembly saying that the sugar production reduced by 37.4% in 2021. I'm moving forward. I just want to keep going forward here a little bit. When it comes to the rice growing sector, right? Rice growing sector now, we're moving off from sugar. That actually contracted. There was a reduction there by 20.5%. That is rice. Sugar reduced in production. Rice reduced. Let us move forward. Other crop subsection is estimated to have contracted by 9.8% in 2021. Significant declines are observed for many fruits, vegetables, and spices, including pawpaw, bora, watermelon, sweet peppers, okra, sweet potato, and ginger.
Wow.
We can continue. Output in the bauxite mining subsector is estimated to have declined by 3.8% in 2021. The gold mining subsector is estimated to have contracted by 14.8% in 2021. Sure, we can keep going on and on and on with this. Oh, but I want to actually get to these two. When it comes to manufacturing, rice and sugar manufacturing are estimated to have declined by 16.1% and 34.7% respectively. That is 16.1% reduction decline in rice, and in sugar, that is manufacturing we're looking at, and in sugar 34.7%. But what is interesting, and I want persons to know that this, when it comes to electricity and water supply, I don't know how you're going to deal with this and how persons are actually going to react to this bit of information. But it is said here that electricity supply is also estimated to have grown in 2021 by 4.7%. Sharon,
Oh
have
yes.
you seen electricity supply grown by
I think the guy needs
4.7%?
people. I
That
think the
one
guy
is
needs people with doubt that. But as you on that point, let me welcome Mr. Jaipaul Sharma to the conversation. As we said, Jaipaul is the former minister within the Ministry of Finance and also Infrastructure, and he's the leader and general secretary of the Equal Rights and Justice Party, the ERJP. Jaipaul, welcome to the program. I would love if you can center yourself a little bit for us so we have more of you, just a little bit. And GHK Lall says this budget, Juretha and Jaipaul, is an abomination. Jaipaul, what is your characterization?
Cheryl, thank you, Juretha, and to your views. The budget basically did not meet my expectation. As you know, my party base is basically the poor and ordinary people of this country, and I would want to agree with that author uh, that said that the budget, it's a terrible thing that the PPP have done to this country. And for me, the budget basically plays to the interests of the business class, and it totally forsakes the people of this country interests. And this is the poor and ordinary people we're speaking about. I think Juretha would have put it out with her statistics in relation to the various growth rates in various sector, and and I think she would have pointed out that there's a failure in many of the sectors since the PPP took office in August of 2020. If you go through those sector performance, you will see the numbers. They would want to blame it on COVID. They would want to blame it on flood. They want to blame it on rain. They want to blame it on everything except their own self and the inability to manage the affairs of the country the way it's supposed to manage. And they're continuing to do this service to this country and the resources of this country. And I think Juretha will point out those numbers to you. But as I said, the budget, uh, to me and to the poor people of this country, it doesn't contain anything for them. I don't want to quote other people's words and say what they want to say. Everyone feeling what the budget have done for them, and they have a right to say. But I said this is only focusing in the business. And if you notice the measures, I spoke about the measures in my Facebook page post, and I did indicated the fact that look, I only focus in on things that is pro poor measures, and I would not focus on those things that are oriented for the business people. Sherrod, this is the
Yeah.
largest budget, 552 billion or more dollars, and what it have for the poor people: a 3,000 increase in old age pension, a 2,000 public assistance, a 10,000 more in a cash grant because we care, and that is every year. It's not like you get it every month. And in some way, when the PPP put these numbers together, I don't want to say they actually benefit in their own support base. Yes, 25,000 per year is good for a child. A lot of parents see it's something positive because a lot of parents in certain regions may have 4 or 5 children. So what happened to persons that is doing family planning and have one child, right? So apparently you have to have more children to enjoy 100,000 a annum. So if you're not, you're gonna get 25,000. So these are the things you have to look at. So I don't want to say they do it for their own support base, but I could say although it's not sufficient, it's something good in relation to the 25,000. I personally expected more. I was looking at 25,000 per month per child. You know,
Yep.
I was
Yep.
looking. The PPP. Listen, old age pension you increase it $3,000. Person work it out as $100 a day. For 30 days. It cannot work if the PPP had promised a 50,000 old age pension. Jared, work out it, work it out. If they continue to give 3,000 for the next three remaining years, what are they going to put this at? Would it be 50,000? Would it be 50,000? Then they put a nice figure in the budget of a $19.5 billion under the area that they usually would pay increases in wages and salary. But they didn't announce it. So I'm asking the unions tonight, the public service union, the teaching service union, if they could commence negotiation with the government, because I'm keep pushing for this $100,000 minimum wage. That is the only way we can get something out of this budget. And we can't sit. The union cannot sit on the hands. They have to get up and start working.
Good point. Good point. Juanita always makes the point about trickle down economics never working. And Jaipaul, I think you mentioned it inadvertently by saying that your concern really and truly because of your base is on the poor. The big boys gonna make money in this budget here, but it's not going to meet the poor. And we've tried this before. They have given big concessions, to big businesses. And then Air had to come out and on public television, social media begging big businessmen to let the effect pass down. But they never do. They never do. They see it as payback for whatever they did for them during the election, payback for the money they would have given to them. And so the effects are never passed to the people who matter most. Is anything going to be different now, Juretha, Jaipaul? Trickle down economics? Is it going to work?
No,
It's
nothing
a
would.
failed concept. I I think we've been at paying at explaining to the Guyanese people that the whole concept of trickle down economics is not a failed concept in Guyana. Trickle down economics is a failed concept internationally. We have tons of economists that has written books and so many studies that have been conducted throughout the world that actually the evidence that trickle down economics it's a concept that has never worked. You cannot keep giving money to people and expect them to use the kindness of their heart to let that money trickle down to the working class and the actual poor people of this world. It doesn't work like that. The more benefits that you give to the private sector, the only thing you're giving to them is an increased profit margin, and that is the fact. At no point in time they are incentivized by that to increase the wages of the private sector's employees. Persons would know that the minimum wage of the private sector employees is not even at the level of the minimum wage of the public servant employees. At no point in time have they ever seen those benefits given to them, those reduction in taxes and so as an incentive for them to give back to their employees and the poor people of this country. It never works like that. All that has happened so far is that their profit margin has increased and the poor people continue to beg for food. And as a little child that you featured earlier is on the streets, no shoes on, and he doesn't have anything to eat. That is the fact of what is going on in our country right now. We cannot escape that. The budget did absolutely nothing to stop that, to curb that problem altogether. We will continue to see we will continue to see more and more children on the street. And I think I mentioned that on your program before. If persons drive wrong in Georgia, and every time they stop at the stoplight, they would see children like tapping at their windows, asking them for something, asking them for $20 or something like that. This is the oil producing Republic of Guyana, as we so refer to it. This is a country that has less than 1 million people. You cannot bring a budget that you're emptying the resource wealth of the nation, and you have done absolutely nothing to inject direct transfer into the hands of the working class of this country. And that is what the PPP come and do. And then they're going to go out there and say, oh, we care. And this is a lovely budget. And this is going to be a transformational budget. And it will be transformational, shared for a few people at the very top. Their lives are going to be transformed. They're going to graduate from buying expensive vehicles, and now they're going to probably be purchasing jets and so at the end of this period, because this is the type of country that we're living in. The poor will be getting poorer, the cost of living will be increasing. We see absolutely no mechanism, no measures, no policy put in place that is aimed at tackling the inflation rate directly. So I see absolutely no benefit for those people.
Jaipaul,
No,
your thoughts?
all of that is very much true. And to put it in a more simpler term, look, we've seen it portraying every day. The PVP came into office. They said they reduced over 200 taxes, but it probably was mostly fees and fines and things of that nature they would have cut. Okay. However, did that benefit the people? Look at the VAT and even the hinterland where person will travel by aircraft. The indigenous people complaining to the minister they haven't received no benefit. And the minister is saying to the local airlines, what you're doing. And of course, they're going to make some excuse and say something else went up. So we can't pass it on. So more money you give to the business class, chance to make money for themselves. They will never pass it on. And so this is what is happening here. So this trickle down economics would not work unless you give the money in the hands of the people. And that is the reason I have proposed uh, how a transformational budget would have worked to really to push or boost the country in terms of the poor and ordinary people, and that is to put the money directly in their hands, not to put it in anyone else's hands. Okay, so let us look at this nice picture that they're painting. Now, with the local content legislation that they forcefully passed, and like the new Natural Resources Fund Act that they passed, particular for this budget, let us focus on that. So Local content, they say they're going to give some of the local content matters in relation to oil and gas to Guyanese. But it's not local content for local Guyanese, it's national content. So if you're Guyanese, any part of this world, you're entitled to it. So they're not farming out something for protect me, but yet they say in the budget that we're going to give, a break in the duty for trucks and pickups. You ever saw any sugar worker with any 4x4 going to work? How would that benefit the sugar worker? How it would have benefited sugar
Yep.
worker if that took some of that $126 billion it just took out and put into this budget. If that took that, if that took about, I don't know what is the remaining balance owing to the Barbies Bridge, but if that say we can take 25 billion of that and we're gonna pay off for that bridge, and the Barbicians would be crossing that bridge, paying what we pay at the Demerara Harbor Bridge presently at $200 and things like that. That will be beneficial because every single Barbician and even persons from outside the region would have benefited from it. You go in and spend money on a new bridge, a Demerara Harbor Bridge. You're going to build it
The
in
price may be higher to cross than the current
we
one.
don't know what it's all going to be. We don't know what it's all going to be. You know? So help us that one bridge for us before you go and build the next bridge. Because you're going to put a noose around our neck if we can commit suicide in this country. The PPP is committing financial genocide in this country with our resources. And I don't know if Juretha is looking at the numbers, but you, the parliamentarian, have to be careful. Be careful with the numbers. Numbers is trickery. I would ask you, both of your parliamentarian, I would ask you, in relation to public accountability and transparency, if the PPP really concerned about public accountability and transparency, did you look at the amount of money that they gave the Auditor General for 2021? Did you look at that? So this is a constitutional agency, the agency and the sole agency responsible now for auditing the oil resources in terms of the additional money they're going to be put in this budget, which is the dumping $127 billion in this budget. And in 2021, they gave the Algerian 1.06 billion. In 2022, they gave the same Auditor General 1.05 billion. A 15 million increase. The man gonna go up purchase a pickup and do verification. Would that help in transparency?
Yep.
Accountability?
Yep.
If they're really interested in transparency and accountability, they give you the largest budget ever. The last budget was what? 380 something billion. This one is 552 billion. Tell me and tell the public, did they increase the time allotted for you to ask questions?
As a matter of fact, they have reduced the time to prepare to ask the questions.
The public must know this. So when they go in and say, here, we're moving the money from the Natural Resources Fund and we bring it in the Consolidated Fund, so the people it's gonna be more transparent. How is this transparent when the members of the National Assembly cannot scrutinize the budget? It should go hand in glove. You increase the budget, you give the MPs more time to scrutinize the budget. You increase the Auditor General budget, so he has the capability to do his work. And I think, Juretha, you're sitting at the PAC, I was a member of the PAC, and this is something the PAC should say here. This can't work. I want the Auditor General and his staff to come before me and explain how they're going to be auditing this additional amount of money. Do they have resources?
Yep.
Well, if you don't have the resources, come back to the parliament and force the government to give them the resources. And that's the financial resources. So don't play with words and mince words. Because
fantastic. Point taken, Jaipaul. As
transparency, accountability.
As we wrap up, where do we go from here, Juretha, Jaipaul? Where do we go from here? As a people, what do you tell the people of this country as we go to bed this evening, worried about a little boy who got to walk from Little Diamond to Diamond Grove looking for food in a country got the biggest budget ever, or as GHK Lall said there, probably the wealthiest GDP in the world right now. What do we tell the people of this country when they see people, super rich, and then the rest of us barely getting by? What do we tell them, Jaipaul? What do we tell them, Juretha?
I would say Sharad, that the people of this country should be kneeling down this evening and every single evening and day go to church and pray. Pray for yourself and your children. Matter of fact, pray for them and not yourself because probably with COVID they may die soon. But pray for your children. Pray for your children and your children's children because you have to look at the figures. The PPP is the most incompetent set of people that they have as a government in 23 years, 5 years in opposition, and 2 years now in government. And I know David Patterson, former minister, would have put forward a motion and he begged them not to proceed with the gas to power plant. I didn't listen to the entire debate. Matter of fact, I didn't listen to the debate, but I would have read bits and pieces of articles. But I didn't heard he mentioned something very important people should know. And on our administration in 2019, around December 2019, we had started to procure a Wärtsilä plant for 6.5 megawatts plant. We loaned money to GPL because they didn't have money. And we didn't have a budget. People don't realize we didn't have a budget in 2020. We almost didn't have a budget in 2019 because we didn't have option to have supplementary provisions or put supplementary financial paper.
Correct, correct.
So we yet loaned GPL 50 million US dollars, $10 billion to purchase the generator. We came out of office. The generator never arrived. The generator arrived in the country when the PVP took over in August. And guess what? The commission this generator sometime in September of 2021. And then almost a year after, they destroyed the generator. Destroy the generator.
Yep.
But
10 billion.
What I'm saying to you, Chair, and I said, former Minister Patterson probably missed this in his debate, was that generator was a dual power generator. It was to work with heavy fuel oil and natural gas. So why these people going and invest money, $1 billion US in a pipeline to bring natural gas to a location if they can't maintain this for 46 megawatts
Yeah.
that if they're rich using natural gas? We would have get containerized gas. We would have had LNG gas. We could have get a small vessel coming in there and docking at Garden of Eden and power that plant. We didn't have to use heavy fuel oil. Why these people don't think about these things? When they destroy that, you're going to trust them with $1 billion.
Money for the boys.
Now you know, Sharon. Hello.
Go right ahead, Jaipaul.
Yes, you know, Sharon, that under the PVP government, they record in laying anything. If it's a cable, if it's fiber optic cable, if it's a fiber optic cable for GPL over the West End to Kingston power plant is all failure. You're going to trust these people to lay a gas line, pipeline? So that's the next fear. So that is what I'm saying. You need to pray. I need to pray hard, Sharon.
Yeah.
And Sharon, we need to look at the numbers for this budget. This budget have a $6 to $4.89 billion deficit. Although they borrow all this money, it have a deficit. And this deficit, I believe, based on the numbers, is not the true amount of the deficit. Okay, the deficit should be greater, but they inflate the revenue figures. So the deficit going to not look large. So
Jaipaul, camera is giving us some trouble there. Juretha, jump right in. Your thoughts to the people of this country as we wrap up.
As you wrap up, Sharon, I'm listening to Jaipaul, and he is so on point, but when he questions, why the PPP don't think like that, it's clear as day. The PPP doesn't have any interest in thinking about what is the next best alternative when it comes to spending the country's resources. The only thing they're concerned with is which project is going to give us the biggest kickback and the biggest rewards. And that's how it works with them all together. So Jaipaul is bringing all the analysis because Jaipaul is used to the APNU being in office and himself as a minister looking at what is best for the people of this country and how best the money could be utilized. But we have an administration in office right now that cares less about that. And Jaipal also mentioned a little earlier about the Auditor General's office and all of that. The PVP, as you would have mentioned two programs back, that the actual our actual ranking on the corruption index, we have gotten worse by 2 points because they're least bit concerned about any of these things. They
Correct.
don't care how those numbers look. Once they are satisfied and their objective has been met, they are good by any means necessary. That has been their modus operandi from day one, and that is the truth. The people of Guyana, I am on the Public Accounts Committee. Why can't tell persons like it's a task at hand at the Public Accounts Committee. Jaipaul was there also, and the PVP makes every single morning, and I encourage persons to tune into those programs. Well, during Parliament takes precedence over that, so whenever there's a sitting of the National Assembly, budget debates and so forth, we don't meet. However, any other Monday we're there and it's live. The coalition actually made that decision for the interrogation of those estimates, for not the estimates, rather for the interrogation of that report, the Auditor General's report, to actually be live, so persons can actually listen to what is going on. So every Monday you can listen in, and I'm happy to report that we are actually going. We started actually 2017 and 2018, those reports, because we want to get to 2020 and 2021. That's our aim. Our aim is to get there because we have so much that we need to question. And then this 2022 budget being the biggest ever, it's going to be a task at hand for us to get through all of that. But we have so many things against us. But I can assure the general public that our team is pretty strong at that level, and we will continue to expose the PVP. But we're heading in on Monday. We're heading into the budget
Scrutiny, I'm
debates.
guessing it.
And persons, no, the debates are on Monday, and then the scrutiny starts the following Monday. But we're heading into the debates on Monday, and I encourage persons, I challenge the PVP support base. I challenge the PVP support base to sign on and listen to the debate that comes from their ministers that is sitting in office. Sign on and listen to the lack of quality that is presented at the National Assembly from
They're
those
gonna shame.
persons. It is in to the people of this country. I saw one other thing before I come off. I saw one of the comments. I try to follow the comments in on the live feed. One of the comments, someone was asking if the $30,000 is per year or if it's monthly for the school children. That money is annual. So if you break it down, well, it's actually
800.
25. Grant, it's 2,080 something dollars per month if you break it down per month. And if you were to actually do the comparison to what the Granger led administration was doing, is to actually provide transportation and meals and books and all of those things for your students, and it's not even close in comparison to what was being done prior. So of course, the Minister of Education, Priya Manijan, and as she is right now, is she's lovely promise of this $50,000 per child, and this was a budget to bring it because this is the budget that is draining the oil resources. But of course, she didn't meet that. Well, she didn't say that that promise was photoshopped as yet. To this point, they didn't call Photoshop on that one. So
That's
I
fine.
don't know how they're going to be actually dealing with it moving forward. But we're going to be here. We're going to go into the debates. We're going to be very strong as we usually are in the National Assembly. But the estimates, and Jaipal is rightly saying, we go through those estimates line by line, page by page. Literally, we have hundreds of pages. We have to go through each and every one of it line by line, and we have to go through those numbers. A person needs to pay attention to them because based on where the money goes, work will be able to be done. That it's as simple as that. And I think I don't know if Jaipal can just wrap up probably commented a little bit on this, but capacity it's something that's huge. Our capacity to get certain things done. I don't see the PVP doing anything I didn't see anything that is going to actually address that issue of capacity when it comes to infrastructure work. So I know they presented all all these projects that they want to do, but Jaipal and anybody else that has been dealing with this knows that we have a serious issue when it comes to capacity as a nation, and they have done absolutely nothing to address that specific issue.
Thanks, Juretha. Jaipaul, we lost you a little bit there, so I want to give you the final word.
Yes, thanks, Sharad. Listen, I think a lot of things are said very important, but again, I want your viewers and yourself as MPs and other members of parliament from the opposition to understand this. When the PPP took and decided to take that 127 billion from the Natural Resources Fund and put it into the budget, it wasn't because that they love the people of the country. Remember that. The people must understand that. They try to avoid scrutiny. Now, if you go back to when they had built that Berbice Bridge, they went to the IDB. The IDB said, no, not feasible. And the IDB said, we would probably give you money to purchase 2 ferry and continue the ferry operation, build it, sell and rehabilitate it, and so. But no, they went into what they call a P3 and they get that bridge done. Now, because they don't want to have studies done, if you go to the World Bank, the IDB, and so on, to request money, they would ask you for feasibility studies. They would want to do studies. CDB, any international financial institution. That is what they're running away from, the study. But if they have the ready money, which is the people's money, and they put it in these projects, they don't have to do any study. And that is what they're getting away with. And they're getting away with that is murder basically.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, you could go to IFC, which is the financial business arm of the World Bank, and they would have give you a loan, and you wouldn't get concessional loans. You would get loans not with 1%, 2%, but maybe a 4% or 4.5%. But still, that money would be saving and earning interest. And you're better off. You could have paid a little by little, and you could have used that money there, that $127 billion to really help out the poor people, improve their life, subsidize things. Everything is not about increases in salary and wages and allowance, but subsidies, because you don't want to have runaway inflation. And so Juretha is also right. Now, we in government we could say, I don't consider ourselves in government for 5 years because we had no confidence. We were crippled for 2 years. Okay? So we could not have managed a PSIP, and a PSIP probably of $76 billion or $80 billion. How could you manage a PSIP of this size? Okay, that is the PSIP is the program in which you have capital works. Right? And you know why we couldn't handle it? The capability the capability of the contractor to observe the kind of work that is out there to do. Okay? They didn't have the ability. You had one contractor getting 4 or 5 contracts, and you couldn't help it because he was the only contractor. Right? You couldn't deprive him. Now the PPP took out a number of contractors, big contractors that they thought was sympathetic to the AP and UFC government. And BK is one, Courtney Ben is one. 2 of the biggest, largest contractors. How would they carry out these works without those 2 individuals? Did they replace them with somebody else? With somebody else with its technical experience and capability? No. So how would they do this work? So it's a big sham. Well, this work and these works will all be done by international contractors. So how trickle-down economics work in here? You're going to bringing in people into the country to carry out these works. Where are people going to get work? With these monies that they spend and remain in Guyana to circulate. So this whole thing about the PSIP and so on was if you pump money into capital work, it will circulate within your country and to reach down to you finally. But these contracts, it's not going to be going to Guyanese contractors. It's too large, it's too technical, and the large and technical contractors could probably team up with the international companies to do this work. The PVP don't want to do business with them. So this
And
is the
Jaipaul,
documenting. So you have
and yet again,
to,
nothing gets to the people.
right. So you have to be very careful. So
Great, folks. We're going to leave it there. You know, these budgetary issues are very, very nuanced, weighty matters, and you know we couldn't keep to our usual program time. We've gone over by just a little bit there, but I really want to thank Jaipaul Sharma for being here, former minister within the Ministry of Finance and Infrastructure, the General Secretary and leader of the Liberty and let me get it right. Let me get it right.
equal
The
rights and justice, right?
Equal Rights and Justice Party. Fantastic. Equal Rights and Justice Party. Juretha Fernandes, the shadow finance minister there, as we wait. Thanks for staying with us, guys, as we wade through all of these issues. And we'll be back tomorrow night, grappling with some of them and showing you why this budget is not people-centered. Some people can make money, and for the rest of us, catching we tail. Jaipaul and Juretha, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Sherrod.
Great. Folks, that's our time this evening. That's our time this evening. And this is the kind of programs we love doing where we're getting the information to you guys. It's not necessarily always, fast paced, but we got to delve into the issues. We got to discuss, this budget in minutia and show you how it doesn't cater for you and I. It doesn't, don't let me fool myself. It doesn't cater for you and I at all. And I'm thankful for the thousands of you who have stayed with us. It's now at 9:20 locally and counting. Thank you, Roxana Odessa Jacobs, for staying with us. Nicole Royston, Carla Washington, Nicole Yoff, to be specific. Sherry Juretha, good to see you. Anne Beverly, Ingrid Crawford. Is it Otto? Sherman Charles as well. Royston Melville, Joylyn Cook, Nisa. Good to see you, Nisa. Jamal Aziz, and all you other fantastic folks. Folks, some of y'all think, I know some of y'all how we think, Guyanese people, people in this region, people that in the diaspora, when you all see us asking for help, you almost said that these guys make a lot of money. Where? These guys make a lot of money. I don't need to give. Folks, come on board. Help us build out our programs like In the Ring, our podcast, Below the Belt, our website, Credible Sources, getting more information to you. It is because of you we've been able to come this far, and it's because of you we will go even further. Come on board, find a way to help us. Several platforms available. We got the Cash App, we have PayPal, we got Zelle, we got MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union. We are available by all of these platforms. If you need some guidance, WhatsApp us at 627-6963. 627-6963. WhatsApp us. That's our WhatsApp number. If you need some guidance, how you can contribute. 627-6963. Thanks for spending this time with us. We're going to be back tomorrow. Ensure you share the program before you go. We are really, really happy that so many of you have stayed with us. Again, you need any guidance, WhatsApp us. 627-6963. Wilma Grant, good to see you. Sharon Joseph, good to see you. Anne Beverly, good to see you. Ricardo Rodriguez, good to see you. Gene Williams, good to see you. Clive Jackson, good to see you as well. Janet Edwards, good to see you guys. Stay safe. We're going to see you guys back in the podcast tomorrow, Friday. We're going to have another open mic session tomorrow like we did today. Looking forward to hearing from some of you guys on these issues. And then we'll be back tomorrow night in the ring, folks. Good to see you. Thanks for spending this time with us. Stay safe. Some of you heading to work. Some of you are heading home. Some of you home already just relaxing. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Thanks for being here with us. Respect and manners to each and every one of you. And we say all are welcome in the ring. You might be TUF. You might be Equal Rights and Justice. You might be Alliance for Change, APNU. You might be PNC. Whoever you are, all are welcome. Whatever religion you are, all are welcome, guys. It is here. We wait through the ideas. We contend with the ideas, folks. And the best ideas come to the surface. And hopefully, that's how we move this country forward. Peace and power in 2022. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Be kind to each other out there. Stay safe.